Hi, I'm Wanhee, and as you can see, I'm not a big gym bro. I don't look super jacked like all your famous influencers. I'm just a normal guy who went from this to this. So I can't help you if you want to win bodybuilding competitions, but I can help you if you want to put on some muscle, become lean and aesthetic, just like this. With that said, here's my honest advice to anyone that wants to build muscle. It doesn't really matter what you do as long as you hit the gym for the first 2 years. You will progress no matter what. This is the period we like to call newbie gains, where if you're going from not lifting any weights to lifting any weights, you could make all the mistakes. You will still build muscle, lose fat, and just have a great time transforming your body. In fact, I think everybody in the world should milk out these first 2 years of newbie gains and build as much muscle as possible because it's healthy, it's going to help you look better, and so on and so forth. Perhaps the most important thing here is getting over that initial anxiety of stepping into the gym where you think it's just full of these angry gym bros, realizing that there's no harm in you fumbling around and figuring your way out and just going there for the first 2 years. Next, I was watching one of these reels about these cool exercises that people are doing. It's like everyone's inventing new ways to train. They've got an extra ball that they're stepping on for balance, and they're jumping and swimming under a barbell. Like, it was crazy what I was seeing. New exercises are coming up all the time that are just kind of like fads. They're just like here for the moment. People think it's cool, everyone tries it, but we all know a couple years down the line nobody's really going to be doing that exercise. But 20 years ago, people were doing forms of bench press, they were doing push-ups, they were doing chin-ups, they were doing pull-ups, lat pull-downs, bent over rows, deadlifts, some lunges, squats. These bang for your buck compound exercises that were here 20 years ago and that are going to be here 20 years from now. It's timeless for a reason. Stick to those exercises first, and there'll come a time in your fitness journey where you'll get to experiment with different exercises, maybe with ATG split squats, maybe with tibialis raises and weighted knee raises, some hip flexor exercises. There's a place for this, and in fact, I actually recommend a lot of people move on to these exercises at some point in their fitness career. But if you're just starting out and you're trying to build muscle, your best bet is to familiarize yourself with the most fundamental exercises that are going to give you 80% of your results. And those are your free weight compound movements. Next, most people that go to the gym make the mistake of switching out their routines or just changing it to their favor every couple of weeks. They try the bent over row for a couple of weeks. They're like, you know what, my back's not changing, let me try the cable rows. Then they go and watch Instagram. They're like, wait, I saw this one arm dumbbell row where this guy pulls the elbow, that looks really good, he's jacked, so I'm gonna do that. What winds up happening is that you become less and less efficient at doing that particular exercise. An exercise, like I always say, is like a gift that keeps on giving. The more times you do it, the more your mind and your muscle, your body understands the mechanical procedure. The more effective and efficient you get at recruiting the right muscles for executing that movement. What does that mean? Your form's going to become more stable, you're going to become stronger, you'll be able to pull more weight, your progress will be stable, and you'll make more gains. Contrary to that, if you keep switching it about, you're training your mind to get used to different exercises all the time, and you're getting mediocre results from all of these different exercises that you're switching to. It doesn't have to be my routine. It doesn't have to be, the best routine ever. Like I said, it doesn't matter what it is. Just focus on a routine, a set of exercises that you enjoy, that you can do consistently, and stick to it for at least 3 months. I find 3 months is the sweet spot because there does come a point where if you stick to the same exercise for just too long, you enter this stage of diminishing marginal returns where your body almost only becomes good at that one thing and you want to train it in other directions and other ranges of motion. Imagine a boxer who only trains his jab for like 3 years. There comes a point where your jab's quite good and you might switch to, learning about hooks or your footwork or whatever, right? So apply that same idea, but for 90% of you, you're switching too early. So stick with it. Next, it's come to a point now where you can drop me anywhere in the world. I will feel weird if I don't train my body in some way. Bodyweight training, hitting the gym, jiu-jitsu, soccer, tennis, whatever it is, I'll be moving my body because it's part of my identity to train, to do sports, to be active with my body. It doesn't sit well with me to not do it. And so it's that much easier for me because it's part of my life to stay consistent with training. This is what you want for yourself. Now, why is it that most people cannot make it part of their life? because they fall into the beginner's trap where they think, oh my god, this is so fun, I'm building so much muscle, I'm in the newbie gain phase, anything I do, it seems like I'm putting on muscle, if I do more, I'm gonna get even more jacked. And you just get sucked into this craze where you build up a routine that is too extreme, that is too heavy, too many times a week. This actually results in you making some gains in the beginning and then you stall, and then you're like, wait, I actually don't enjoy it anymore, I can't really balance this with my work, I've got my assignments, I've got my essays, I've got my family, I've got my job. You're gonna skip it once, you're gonna skip it twice, you're gonna skip it for 2 weeks, and then it becomes 2 months, and then you're like, oh my god, summer's coming around, I gotta start again. So don't fall into that beginner's trap. Instead, download my minimalist training routines. It's for free, I put it in the link below. Resist the urge to go heavy, start with something small, and then slowly build momentum, and almost trick your mind to be like, wait, this is so easy, I can just do this forever, it's so easy. Then you can slowly increase the volume to match your desired results. Make it part of your life, and the best way to do that is start in a minimalist way. Next, if you see a physique of a guy whose physique is just amazing and you're like, oh my god, I want that, most of those guys have spent at least 2 years, probably more like 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 years to build that physique. Understand that you will get there too, as long as you put in that amount of work, and you actually want to put in that amount of work so that you value the result of it. If you got it in 6 months, you wouldn't even value it yourself. Of course, we want fast changes, that's the world we live in, but if you go in with that long-term mindset of like, this is going to be part of my life, so what I want to prioritize is my ability to make it sustainable rather than my ability to see the fastest results. If you can do that smart mindset shift, then you'll be ahead of 99% of people that are just dipping their toes in and leaving, because all they do is care about speed. And this of course extends not just to your training routine, but to your diet, to how many times you train, to what other activities you do with it. Every time you decide to add a feature to your training or to your diet, like, okay, I'm gonna eat this much protein, or I'm gonna add this many exercises and training days, every time you want to add something, the first question you should ask is not, is this gonna make me more gains, but it's actually, is this something that I can sustain for the long run? And if the answer to that is yes, then you can add it. Next, most people, if you go to the commercial gym, you're going to be on their phones, they're going to be listening to some random like music, going on a few calls, scrolling some dating apps. It's just a half-assed training session. But that's not how you see professional athletes train when they train boxing, soccer, UFC, jiu-jitsu. They don't just like midway start looking through their phones, listening to some things. You don't do that. You're just there, focused. And that's what you need to do in the gym as well. When you do the incline bench press, when you do the chin up, your focus has to be inside that movement. You need to be thinking, I'm gonna get 5 reps, I'm gonna get 6 reps. Okay, when you're doing the rows, you're thinking to yourself, I'm gonna squeeze my lats, I'm gonna pull with my elbows, I'm gonna really feel it in my lat muscles and not in my biceps. And your mind muscle connection is there. Your muscle recruitment is top notch because you're thinking and feeling into your body. That is the difference between pros and average Joes when it comes to the gym. And you can even just see it in the way that they move between set to set, between exercise to exercise. You've seen those guys in the gym, right? Where like just by the way they move, you know they're locked in. They're not thinking about nothing else. They're just super focused on the exercise. And those guys usually look great. Then you get the other guys, right? They're just there kind of chilling. It's kind of like their downtime. They're having a good little chat, scrolling on their phones, sharing each other's little videos. Look, I'm not saying don't have fun with your friends in the gym, but when it's time to work out, your mind has to be in your body, in the exercise. Bring that focus to it, and that's how you squeeze more gains out of the same bloody exercise. Next is don't get fooled by all these influencers and trends that dominate the fitness industry today, and that might be including myself. You're gonna get so much information about how to do this, how to do that, why you should do this, why you should do that. You watching this wherever you are, you're in your particular situation. Maybe it's in the German rainforest, maybe it's in the Brazilian beachside where your supermarkets don't have this, where your gym access is not like this. So you need to understand that your situation only you know best. So you got to take some concepts and principles that I've shared with you and build something that allows you to enjoy and sustain working out for the long run. Go at your own pace. Understand that most people that rush will fall off. Focus on making it part of your life and make it customized to you in your particular situation, rather than just trying to mindlessly copy your favorite influencer on the internet. Having said that, if you want to discuss how to optimize things in your current situation, if you want a coach to guide you in different things such as training, diet, and how to think when things get difficult, then check out the link below. I have a private coaching community where I jump on calls with you live. You'll get a chance to ask me questions, and hope you enjoyed this video. See you in the next one.